again, everybody. Welcome back to The Huddle, the Review.com's weekly sports show. I'm Rob Toder, joined by Jeff Supanik. And in this edition, we're going to talk about the Mount Union Purple Raiders, who improved to 11-0 with a victory over the Washington and Lee Generals in the first round of the NCAA Division III football playoffs. And Jeff, it was a condition not even suited for ducks last Saturday, but the Purple Raiders' defense, as we assumed would have happened, really showed up and dominated the day.
Yeah, I think that was the fortunate is, obviously yard became very hard to come by. The passing game for Mount Union was completely, and I think it neutralized. And also Washington and Lee, they like to run outside with that triple option. I think that was taken away. And the key, Mount Union's first three drive, they all started on the other side of the 50, whereas Washington and Lee's first three drive were all in the 20. And that was, 14-0. And under those conditions Saturday, that probably felt like 45-0, I'm sure.
Yeah, you've been covering Mount Union for a long time and a lot of football. Have you ever seen conditions that bad that really took away, basically sent the game back to the 1890s almost with the style of play? You pretty much just had to run the ball.
Yeah, you did. Not for a whole game, no. I've seen maybe bits and pieces where before the game it might affect the field, maybe in a fourth quarter. But, it was just a monsoon nonstop. And, you're right. It completely changed the complexion of the game. And nothing to take anything away from Washington Lee. It probably kept the game a lot closer than it probably would have been under dry conditions. Mount Union only threw the ball 9 times. And now they did hit one big pass play right at the start of the fourth where, ironically, the weather kind of let up for about a 5-minute gap. And they said, well, we're going to take our chances. They went down the field, got a touchdown, make it 21-0. But, yeah, the defense just, the weather almost made it so easy for them to just contain everything, inside the hash marks in that game.
Okay. Well, this week now Mount Union is home again in the second round of the playoffs, and they'll face an old rival from way back, but they haven't played for a long time, and that's the Case Western Reserve Spartans. Case Western Reserve, formed in the late 60s when Case Tech and Western Reserve University merged, and these two programs have not played since then. But ironically enough, Case Tech was the first opponent for Mount Union in then Hartshorn Stadium way back in 1913. So, and an impressive win for the Spartans last week. They went on the road to Illinois Wesleyan. I think a lot of people thought, well, you can just kind of pencil in Illinois Wesleyan for that second round opponent for Mount Union. But Case Western Reserve with a solid defensive effort of their own in the snow out in Illinois with a 28-0 victory. So let's talk about that Case defense. What's the scouting report there?
I agree. I touch upon, very impressive win. You talk about the rain. They had to battle the elements too, but, they came out and they just dominated that football game, just really shut down Illinois Wesleyan, who earlier this year they had a win against Wisconsin Whitewater, so they were a team that, really I thought everybody was looking at a potential second-round matchup, thinking that could have been one of the tougher second-round matchups. Now, you're Mount Union, you got to get ready for this Case team that seems to be riding a lot of momentum. They had a very thrilling Game 10 in the regular season to get into the playoffs, and it seemed like one of those teams that kind of built off the momentum from that. But, I was very, very impressed with that win against Illinois Wesleyan.
This is a Case team that went 10-0 in the regular season. They shared the President's Athletic Conference Championship with Washington and Jefferson. Those two teams did not play. Yeah. Case also did not play Thomas More, who was a highly regarded team in that conference as well. So there's some question about just how difficult of a schedule Case has played. But when you go on the road in the first round of the playoffs and win 28-0, I think that's going to answer a lot of questions and certainly got the attention of the Mount Union staff.
Absolutely. You said it. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff with the pack not playing each other tiebreakers. W&J got the automatic bid, so Case got one of the 5 at-large. And obviously they showed they belong in the field. They're a team that they like to run the ball a lot, so it's going to be interesting to see. And, for those who don't know, their running back coach is Kevin Burke, so the only 2-time Gallardi winner. So it's be interesting. I think he's a little excited to come back. There's some friendly banner with, he said, Next Stop Alliance, and some of the Mount Union players kind of said, well, we're ready for you, so we'll see it. But it'd be nice to, see him back. But good story for Case Western Reserve. I didn't realize some of the history that you just alluded to. And interestingly enough, Case Tech won the first 4 OAC titles in conference history. So I don't know if anybody other than Mount Union and them have had 4 in a row since then. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, a lot of history with there. But, when the two schools merge, see what's going to happen with that. But I expect it to be a pretty good game on Saturday.
Okay, well, remember now that game's again at noon at Mount Union Stadium. And of course, Jeff will have previews throughout the week in the Alliance Review and the Review.com, and of course, coverage on our website, thereview.com, throughout Saturday and Sunday, and then of course, coverage in the Alliance Review next Monday. So make sure you check all that out and get your fill of Mount Union in Case Western Reserve while you're getting your fill of your turkey and stuffing on Thursday as well.
Absolutely.
So for Jeff, this is Rob. We will talk to you next week.